Get them fired up and get them to the staging lanes, baby, because 8th Mile Apparel is now carrying Going Bracket Racing merch. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and much more can be yours today by visiting 8thmileapparel.com. We appreciate each and every one of you guys supporting the Going Bracket Racing YouTube and Facebook pages.
What's up, everybody? Casey and George here with episode 211 on October 21st, 2025. Man, there's so much stuff going on right now. We had a huge week in the GBR camp. George out there streaming, Maddie out there runnering up on the Spring Fling door car race. And then we just had, so Jimmy Taylor just broke the door slammer record. You know, we were talking about him going after that a couple weeks ago. Well, he finally broke it at Maryland, 3:45.4 at 234 miles an hour. But I just saw literally just now, he just reset his own record, 3:43.0, 237.09 miles an hour in the 8th mile. Unbelievable. We'll get into that here in a second. First, we got to thank those people that provide this show for you every single week for free. TSR Racing Products. Get that transmission that you got in your car all wore out right now. I got one wore out in my car right now. I need to call TSR and get some parts in the mail. Power Glide, Turbo 350, 400, 727. They got everything you need. Call them up over there at TSR Racing Products. BRG 3D printed parts, anything you need. Brian Garrett will print that stuff up for you. High density polymers and plastics. Man, I'm all wound up right now. Syntex Printing out there in Temple, Texas. Sticker shirts, brochures, anything you need for your business. Driven Racing Oil, they'll be back with us for 2026 using that GBR10 code. So you're good, at least for the foreseeable future. Cheapest place you can get Driven Racing Oil is on Driven Racing Oil's website using code GBR10. You can use that on anything they got up there. Proform Parts, visit proformparts.com. For your shop tools, your carburetors, alternators, radiators, accessories, all kinds of stuff. They're always coming out with new tools that you need for your shop, and you're going to have to do those engine rebuilds here pretty soon. They got all the stuff you need over at proformparts.com. Crew Chief Pro software. The weather's changing, man. You need to be able to figure out what you need to dial. Time to time, you might race tomorrow when you wanted to race today. Don's got it all figured out for you, crewchiefpro.com. Gearhead Solutions. I was just hanging out with Trevor this weekend whenever we were changing transmissions. We were rewiring Adam's car over there at Show Enough, doing a little bit of wiring last minute on that Mustang, trying to get some things figured out. I think we had some transmission troubles on that as well. It was just running through the camp this weekend, but we got everything taken care of. Great customer service and any kind of parts you need, gearheadsolutions.com. That's where you find that. And, of course, Mid-State Dragway, man. I don't know if they got any more races this year, but if they do, that's the place you need to be, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Vashon is up there doing a little bit of paving right now, laying a little bit of rock down, getting ready for 2026 to make it even bigger and better over there at Mid-State Dragway. George, tell us a little bit about what you had going on this week, man. I know you saw a car wreck without wrecking. I know that.
Yeah, man. Before I get off and all that, I got to shout out my man Joey Knuckles over there at Joey Knuckles Media for snapping a picture of this beautiful race car that we have both in the thumbnail as well as in the main screen for the entrance on Going Bracket Racing here. Seems to be doing a pretty good job out there your way, Casey, Joey Knuckles Media. Make sure everybody give him a like, a share, a follow. or something, out there doing what he loves to do with that camera, taking pictures of what we love to do, drive fast. So I got to shout that out real fast. Thanks for letting us use that photo. Casey, man, I got to send another shout out to my wife, man, sitting behind the keyboard there at Pinwheel Nights Raceway and coming into her own, dude. I didn't teach her very much. She just kind of learned it and picked it up and ran with it herself. So that's what makes it possible for us to catch said video of a race car going down the track that what I would think probably the brakes locked up a little bit or he locked them up. I don't have the answer, but something of that nature. It was getting a little chilly outside and crossed it over a little bit. Almost took the guardrail out, but hashtag driving skills, because he drove his behind off. Keep that off the wall. That's all I got to tell you. And out of that other dragster.
Yeah, man, that was a wild deal for sure. So very interesting. Glad he didn't end up wadding it up. It does get crazy out there, man. You know, in today's age of people kind of overdriving at the finish line, that's always everybody's first go-to thing that they think is, a guy went down there and bombed the brakes or whatever. That's not necessarily the case all the time, especially this time of year, man. It was dark outside. Dew could be setting in. Yep. You never know how that stuff works out. It is what it is. Brake calipers can lock up. People don't think about that stuff, man. So, but needless to say, glad to see that he kept it off of the guardrail for sure.
Yeah, the response was definitely up as well. I mean, instantly the truck and the starting line guys were on their way down the track. I think almost before the car even stopped rolling, they were on their way down the track. And I got to shout that Pinwheel Nights crew out altogether, Casey, to be what I would consider as in the desert, period. Cactuses on the way down there. I'm talking briar thorns stuck in my golf cart tires. Man, they kept that track pretty doggone clean with all that dust blowing through there, you know. Got the job done. Everybody was on the hop, moving around. There was definitely some intent to what they were doing. So everybody who races at Pinwheel Night Raceway, you guys got a good crew working on that racetrack. I'm going to tell you that right now, man. But definitely had a good time setting up camera angles and, you know, watching you guys from probably the best seat in the house. I call it the bird's nest because I'm up there just chilling, me and the camera. But pretty fun weekend, Casey. We get to do it again here pretty soon, guys. You know, we'll be on our way out to Extreme Raceway Park to bring to you the fall edition of the Superbucks Showdown, brought to you by the Pennington Brothers and Pennington Productions. Starting off Thursday, $5K to warm it up, and Saturday and Sunday you can get it for $20K. Okay, so come on out here and drag race with us. No box, you got a $2,000 up top. And the Risky Business Award also that goes on with Insider Racing. They don't leave out juniors, and they got duck racing and all that going on too. That'll be streamed live right here on Going Bracket Racing. And you've got no place better to be on October 30th through November 1st. Come hang out with us. We'll chat with you in the chat and talk about angles, camera angles, what you want to see. And if we can't make it happen, or if we can make it happen, we'll definitely give it a shot. Check that graphic out. That's the merch, man, and that's a pretty nice looking T-shirt that they're going to be selling there at the race as well. I promise I'll have an XL and a large and a hat by the time I get there. So, Casey,
yeah,
man,
that was the first thing I was thinking whenever I saw that logo. Surely that'll end up being on a shirt. So that'd be an extremely cool shirt. Shout out to people here in the chat. Troy Abercrombie, man, he's got one of them West Coaster podcasts going on over there. So check that out. Troy, put that in the chat, whatever the name of that podcast is. I know it's I think it's Bracket Breakdown or something like that for all you West Coast guys, all you Cooper Chuns out there that are putting it to everybody out here on the East Coast time to time. Troy will do it time to time too, but you know he likes to stay over there. Jerry Booyah out here in the chat, hanging out with him a little bit this weekend. And Aaron Hill, man, appreciate y'all stopping in over here. And Barn, of course. Everybody knows Barn's there. I didn't even really need to say that. Ford Purley, he's in there as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Casey, keeping in kind of recapping while we have it going on. CP Racing Promotions. Shout out to you guys too, putting on a heck of a race there. And man, I'll tell you, so a lot of cars showed up, and Dylan Moody was out there in a dragster taking care of business, and it wasn't just him. Graham Rufinock was out there. These guys really got into a really good groove. If you didn't get to watch, I want to say Graham might have been in 3 or 4 finals for the weekend, I think, or at least close to 4 of them. All right, so every time I looked up, that kid's driving. I ain't gonna give up his secrets, even though I know him. I mean, I get to watch him from the bird's nest, like I said. But the kid's pretty tough. That's all I gotta tell you. And old Dylan Moody was running 468 in that range, and man, flat knocking the tree over is what I heard. So definitely a fun race, Casey, and one that I would tell you if you're anywhere near, you need to make sure you get out there and experience that atmosphere, that race. CP was telling me about a country song about the West Texas skies, man, and whatever the case may be, that song ain't lying, because the sunset, the sunrise, whatever you want to call it, in that sky is unbelievable. All right, that's it. I'm done.
Let me tell you what we were up to this weekend, man. So, obviously, Door Car Fling. I think it was the first annual actual Door Car Fling, or maybe they might have had one at Norwalk. I don't know. I can't remember how that ended up going up there at Norwalk. But anyway, Spring Fling, bracket races, comes to Galot Motorsports Park. Obviously, all of us are going. Everybody's going. So, Matthew Medlin, he's been running the GBR Nova this year. In fact, actually, until very recently, I haven't even seen that car since Spring Fling Galot in March. I just said, just keep it. Just hang on to it. And he's been running it all year long, man. And for this race, we go out there. He makes a bunch of test hits on Wednesday. I got him some new tires on it and everything. So we're scrubbing them in, getting everything ready to go. Makes 4 runs, flawless, back to back to back, just repeating. Go up there again, everything's repeating. We're doubled for on the warm-up race. Go through first round, didn't work out. Go up for, I think, the second entry, or maybe that was first entry. I can't remember. I was watching on TV, and I got over here on my side screen doing some work, and I said, it didn't want to do a burnout. And I said, oh, no, here we go. Backs it up, gets it to start spinning, kind of does a burnout. I'm like, man, what's going on? Is the line lock sticking? Like, I had that happen one time in the Malibu. Everything, he gets to do a burnout. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Well, goes up there, stages it, let's go. And I'm pretty sure let's go good. And it just doesn't go anywhere. It's like it's in high gear. And I said, oh, great. I think the band smoked in it. And so he calls me and he says, you see that? I said, yeah. I said, so what are we doing? I says, Adam have his other transmission with him. Like, I can go out in the shop. I think I have enough stuff. I can rebuild it overnight if we got to rebuild it overnight. So we're back and forth on deciding. He says, I'll call you back. So he calls me back. Adam doesn't have his transmission. So they think about some stuff again. I said, all right, well, if we got to find some stuff, I said, you need to figure out what we're doing. Because if I got to rebuild this overnight, I said, I might have to have TSR, send me some parts overnight, but we'll get it fixed. I got everything here to fix it. We'll fix it. So what we ended up determining is I don't remember if he ended up getting it or Buster ended up getting it or whatever, but somebody brought Matthew's slow Nova there. I showed up down there and jacked my car up, started taking the transmission out, and then either Matthew or his dad, one or the other, shows up with the slow Nova. So I about got the transmission out of mine, got it on the ground. Then we start taking it out of the slow Nova, take transmission and converter out of it, put it in my car. All the meantime, Adam's going rounds. Adam Boogie is going rounds the whole time. Like me and Maddie are laying under this car, and we can see the scoreboards from where we're laying. So we'd hear Adam come up there, Adam Boogie up here, and this scoreboard goes out. And we're like, every single time. So we don't know what's happening. So Adam comes back around. I won again. But the funniest thing is about this whole deal is I'm laying under this car before Maddie even shows back up with the other car. Adam's laying under here with me, just looking at me, almost like a little kid, just looking at me, but not really doing anything, just handing me tools. And all of a sudden he just goes, oh crap, I got to go run my other entry. Takes off and goes runs his other entry real quick. So anyways, then we get up there, and then that car has problems. At 11 cars, that car ends up falling on its face. And I'm telling you right now, he was fixing to win that race for sure. He was actually, for the first time this year, once a year, sure enough, can let go good. And that was the day he was letting go good, and then the car let him down. So then we thought that car had transmission problems, and we're trying to figure out what's wrong with that car. So him and Trevor over there at Gearhead, they're trying to do some stuff over there, and they rewire the whole car or whatever. And then it didn't fix it. So I think that car still has transmission problems. We're thinking something's wrong with the converter or whatever. Or I don't know. It's almost like it's running out of fuel, but we're figuring that out later. But anyway, back to my car. So me and Maddie have just put a whole new transmission, whole new converter, and everything in. So this car is essentially a totally different car now. Like, the converter means more than changing a motor within reason, you know? So we're like, well, there's no time runs now because the car's been down the track. So here we go. So we're going to try it. Goes right back up there and repeats within 3 thou of what it was running before with a totally different everything. And he says, I think we're ready.
I think so.
So we go up there, and nothing really happened that day. I think we ended up, he singled that day because we didn't even know if anything was going to work. So he singled that day, doesn't really do anything. I think loses first round, buys back, loses again. Comes back the next day, still staying singled. Round after round after round, just keeps winning. Car's repeating, everything's doing good. And then comes down to the finals. Well, we'll back up. Semifinal round, he got the bye to the semis.
Right.
I think the round prior to that, he's like 10 total or something, which got him the bye. Bye run, goes right back up there, makes the same run again. Would have been 10 total again. So we're feeling good, right? Going in the semis.
Right.
I don't know what he must have been looking in the stands or something, but he lets go terrible that round. And Race Blackman, lucky for us, doesn't leave the starting line.
Oh, wow.
So lucked us through that deal. Comes back around. Andy Lloyd dropped some insane run to get the bye to the finals. Like perfect on the tree and dead whatever, or close to it or something like that. I know he's perfect on the tree. That's all that matters as far as the bye run goes. Brand new, extremely, extremely nice car. The one that you saw on the entry screen, that's Andy Lloyd's new 69 Camaro. Probably one of the nicest cars out. I mean, for those of you, everybody knows, I don't know if it's Victor or Richard Dukes, but that extremely nice black Nova that Sean Serra used to drive.
Yeah.
This car rivals it. I mean, because I like Camaros better, I might like it better, to be honest with you. And it's Marina Blue, which is like, you don't see a lot of Marina Blue cars. Extremely nice. But Matthew goes up there, doesn't let go great, but significantly better than Andy. And turns around, says, man, I don't think he's getting here. Now, mind you, this is a 660 car getting chased by 140 mile an hour, 490 door car. So, I mean, this isn't it. Yeah, 500s. Yeah, that's a mile. But, dude, that's a charge right there. Like, I'm telling you, that's just wild to look back. And, I mean, it's kind of like, that's the advantage to having an extremely fast car. That's a lot faster than your average opponent. And in the door car side of things, 140 mile an hour is a lot faster than a lot of people. I didn't think about it. Eric Amon, I think, dials like teens or 20s. And I don't even think he goes 130. He might go a high 128. So Andy's got it easily 10 mile an hour on him. Yep. And that is a fast car, you know? Yep. So, but either way, man, Matthew's just rolling through people this last month. I mean, what more can you ask for? I want to say that in 4 weekends, we've been in 4 finals and a semi. I mean, dude, that guy, he can get it done. I know it really hurt his feelings after he's Monday morning quarterbacking himself, being like, man, I took 500s. I said, man, I win the stupidity contest. I set a loose rocker a couple years ago. I took 70 and I was better than you on the tree too.
I remember that. I think Gleghorn called that out, didn't he?
Yep.
Like, Casey, we just got done talking about
That's
this.
what he says. Yep. And I guarantee you Ryan Gleghorn remembers exactly what we're talking about right now because Casey's an idiot.
Not pretty neat. Old Matty had a boy Matthew, as I always say. Standing on the scaffold as always. I look at my phone and I'm like, oh shoot, Matthew's in the final. That's when I caught it. The moment I picked up my phone and saw Spring Fling's player card or driver card graphic up there, and I said, hey, that's Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
So good job out there, man. Y'all been on a tear. Matthew's been driving the wheels off the old blue. So hey, man, you might want to keep your hired gun in place. That's all I gotta tell you.
Hey man, if I can financially make it work out, I will be doing that for sure. I mean, we still got some races left this year that are some big money races, and the role he's on, man. I mean, he could make enough where we could afford to do it.
So I wonder if are they throwing any type of a shootout at the IHRA race? I know you're going to have the Adrenaline Chevelle out there. Are they going to be throwing a Super Pro race there as well? Because it would kind of be smart, considering you can fill a Super Pro race in your sleep at Galat.
Man, I don't think they will for this race just because there's so many classes.
I saw Mountain Motor Pro Stock. I want to tell you, I think there's 30 or 35. If I could be wrong, Barn will tell me because he tagged me on it. But dude, there's a lot of Mountain Motor Pro Stocks entered in that race.
And there's going to be fuel altereds there too. I mean, they already made it where it was going to be two separate events like everyone else, and now it's just basically down to now we're running just one race for everybody. There's not two separate. There's not a Pro-Am and a National. It's a National for everybody because there's going to be so many cars there. I mean, like you said, confirmed. They've already confirmed 32 or 33 Mountain Motor Pro Stock cars. Yeah, they only take 8 cars, so I'm sure they'll take 16 for this one. But I mean, dude, it's going to be a show. Like, this is going to be what I would expect IHRA to look like for 2026.
Yeah. But I always want to see a bracket race in these races. I don't care if it's IHRA, I don't care if it's NHRA, it doesn't matter. We need to be having some type of a 32 car shootout or a 16. Those bracket races can fill some time too. You know what I mean? And put them on the 8th mile and let people see something different if that's the case. You know, but hey, here's to hoping it's a good race, Casey, because we got a lot more racing to talk about, and I feel like we should wait at least 7 minutes to get into another topic that I want to talk about, which is going to be also IHRA, except we're going to go to the World Finals and discuss a little bit about that race, because I believe I saw something. I don't know if anybody's ever saw it in history. Somebody take the crowns like that. So what can we talk about before we get on that subject? What else you got? Because there's just so much going on.
Well, I mean, we got to talk about, obviously, Donovan Williams doubling up at GABR, winning the 40 grander and then winning the 500K the very next day.
Yeah, man, I really wish I had a chance to watch some of that race. I didn't get to turn anything on. Everybody knows I was streaming the race myself, so I didn't get to turn an ounce of racing on. But when I saw the first 40K, I'm like, okay, Doughboy's doing his thing. Hopefully I can call you Doughboy, Donovan. I don't know. Next time I see you, I'll ask permission. But I'm going to call you Doughboy for now. Doing his thing, man. And then you see Mitch Cleary doing his thing. He said, boy, I want to talk about happy. Of course, your hired gun just won a big one, 40 grand. To come back the next day. And obviously he had to be some type of undefeated in something to come all the way from that race to the next day and go to the dang final and win it too.
Don't forget last year,
pretty good spot.
Last year at Rockingham, Donovan, or no, was that Gage? No, Gage was the one. Donovan's the only one that could have potentially beat him, I guess. They split in the final. That's what I was thinking of. That was Gage.
Gage. That. Yep. And we talked about that. We wanted to know because I think Gage had been 50-0 or something. Like, he did not lose. Like, he was doing something insane. And then they split and quit. It's like, dang, I wanted to know if he's going to take that one too, you know? So I remember
It wouldn't have
race.
surprised me, man.
Yep.
But if somebody could have beat him, it would have been Donovan. I mean, he's the only one. He knows every single one of Gage's games, just like Gage knows all of Donovan's. They grew up together. So
And I'm gonna tell you what, just kind of spitballing here and wondering why my Facebook didn't show me that the guaranteed 500K was this past weekend. Like, I stumbled on the fact that that race was actually happening, which generally doesn't happen to me. I'm pretty well in the know about everything that's going on race-wise. So, I need to make sure Facebook ain't hiding what I want to watch in my algorithm, turning on some notifications or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird, man. That stuff's always weird of what does pop up and what does not pop up. I mean, this is legitimately, I think, behind the OG million. It's the biggest, spring fling million, then the OG million, and then this race. That's the biggest races of the entire year. So why is it not blasted everywhere? I don't get it.
Yeah, and I don't know what they paid I can't remember, I should say, what they paid at the Spring Fling Million, but I'm pretty sure the guaranteed 500K is one of the largest races of the whole year.
Well, it was not the guaranteed 500K. It was a progressive.
Gotcha, okay.
It was paid like 290,000 or something like that.
Gotcha.
But either way, I mean, Britt and Galen, they do a ton of they put a ton of effort into pushing it out there. So it's just very odd that Facebook seemingly, I didn't see it pop up. I mean, I knew it was going on as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, but it's just crazy that how it does that. But I mean, it does that to us too. It does it to everybody. All of a sudden they're like, oh, I didn't even know you guys were doing this or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what we need to do. We all need to band together and figure out how to get the word out for all of us, I guess, at the same time. Everybody help everybody. So that way, whenever people don't know, then they'll hear from somebody else that didn't get, pushed back in the algorithm, I guess.
Whatever the case, man, hang in there with us. We're going to give our marketing partners a few words, let them show you what they got for the bracket racing community. We'll come back with a little bit more and another pretty hot topic. Don't go anywhere. Figure out what I'm talking about. Be right back.
Our third generation slim wireless vehicle scale is worth the wait. You can read cross weight, side-by-side weight, and front and rear weight, in addition to the standard weight for each wheel and total vehicle weight. You can also view on the included backlit LCD screen, complete with control buttons. The full-size 15 by 15 inch aluminum scale pads are only 1 5/16 inches thick. Each pad can hold up to 1,750 pounds for a total scale capacity of 7,000 pounds.
BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts are able to provide you with whatever you desire to enhance your drag racing operation. Items like safety belt magnets, nitrous bottle holders, and even quick release delay box mounts are able to be obtained from BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts. Have a look at top-selling items such as helmet hooks and steering wheel hooks, which are proven to make it easier to maneuver throughout your race car. You can contact BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts at telephone number 765-729-1177.
Prepare to be amazed by the Lightning Bolt Mini Alternator, a technological marvel that defies physics. This alternator is nearly 40% lighter than a conventional 10SI, yet it kicks out more than 80 amps at idle and over 100 amps at full throttle. All this power is packed into a 7-pound 98mm case. Its unique aluminum housing, featuring eye-catching lightning bolt cutouts, adds a touch of style to your engine. Installation is a breeze with a one-wire hookup and standard V-belt pulley. For those seeking a seamless replacement, choose the lightning bolt with the 10SI adapter, or opt for the standard 93mm universal mount version for more customization. Plus, separate serpentine pulleys are available. Don't settle for less. Upgrade to the Lightning Bolt Mini Alternator today and experience unparalleled performance and style.
All right, welcome back. Going Bracket Racing, episode 211. Thanks for being with us and hanging out with us over the weekend, hanging out with us today on Tuesday. Special shout out to everybody, especially the GBR community. We can't do it without you guys. thanks for always being willing to hang out, share, and like, and all that good stuff. So, marketing partners wise, Syntax Printing, Crew Chief Pro, Driven Racing Oil, Proform Parts, TSR Racing Transmissions, BRG Motorsports 3D printed parts, Team 14, Gearhead Solutions, 8th Mile Apparel. Get yourself some GBR merch, Mid-State Dragway, and those guys over at Your Ad Here. That's George and Casey. I mean to tell you, those are two stand-up gentlemen. I gotta tell you right now. George and Casey, man, they do the best that they can to make sure your products, your services, your offerings are in front of the bracket racing community at all times. You like what you hear? Give George and Casey a call or a email at goingbracketracing@gmail.com. Thank you, Chuck. I don't know who Chuck is, Casey, but I had a little fun with that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a whole lot of racing still to do. But at the same time, everything's winding down. I know what you were going to get into though. And it's, Bogacki doing something that's never been done in NHRA, IHRA, WDRA, any of that stuff, as far as I could know. And I know it's something we were learning about too earlier this year, because I want to say Chad Sandlin was the guy who was like, why can't we go to the bracket finals with, if we're in the spot to do it in both classes, why can't we do that if we've been running all year? Well, Bogacki just took the cake in both of them.
Both of them. And it was Chad. And Chad, I think he was like first in Super Pro or second in Super Pro and first in Pro. Whatever you guys call it out your direction, box, mod. Who knows? I don't know. But I call it Super Pro and Pro, for crying out loud. But he was taking it in a great question. Why, if I'm that far up on the points list, why can't I race both?
Right.
Well,
you can't. How are you going to you can't claim to be the best of the best and then not allow the best of the best to race. I mean, The fact of the matter is, if you've been racing in a scenario where you've obviously been able to round robin everything all year long, then you're used to round robin and stuff. So if you don't get up here in time, then you don't race, just like every other weekend.
Yeah, man. And let's not be naive to the fact that this is the year 2025. If you didn't know, wake up if you don't know that, right? Just turn off your computer if you don't know that. Anyway, 2025 is the year, and most of our vehicles are built so that we can hot lap them, because double entering races is normal at this point. Mm-hmm. Agree to disagree?
It's abnormal to not double enter a race that you can double enter at anymore. I've seen JP Britt double enter mod and top at the same race.
Right. And that's how our cars are built. So if that would be the reasoning to not allow someone to run both classes, well, that's a faulty reasoning. I mean, if I can run a race or make a pass, go to the trailer, put out methanol, gas, whatever you race on, back into the tank, and go right back to the lanes and do it again, you shouldn't be saying anything to me. Now, I think maybe it comes down to the cars that can't do that. That could be that's my only guess, Casey. And there ain't going to be very many of those.
No. If you have a car that can't do that, it's a car like my Chevelle that'll fry the transmission doing that. But I mean, that car is not built to do stuff like that. The Nova is. I mean, everything about that car was made to be able to round robin everything whenever I was running it.
Check this out. Bracket Racer 1 chiming in on your side of the things over on YouTube. Of course, I get to watch both. I got like 1, 2, 3. I got 4 monitors over here, so I get to watch both. Bracket Racer 1. Luke had the easiest ride to the finals ever. Think the only hard round was top first. He was good, but they were all gimmies. Okay, let's break that down, Casey. I didn't know this knowledge. You know what I mean? When you think Bogacki, you think I'm just going to tear everybody's head off. Seems like he was in the right place at the right time, if that's the truth.
Well, first of all, to be at the World Finals, you have to first win regular bracket finals. So you have to be in the position to be in the right place at the right time to begin with.
True.
But that's also what he said. He said that I think he commented on our stream before. Yeah, before the OG Million, he said a lot of this place was right place, right time, and he proved it. And he won both of them that way. I mean, it's he was good though too in a lot of the runs. Just his opponents were less than stellar. And that's not to say too what a lot of people forget, and it all goes back to, I say this probably once a month on this show, Scotty Richardson could put himself in positions where he did not need to be good on the tree. And we were talking about it with Fulcher whenever he was on the show, I think episode 207, 206, something like that. Scotty figured out a way, I believe, that he didn't necessarily want to be good on the tree. And there's scenarios, in the scenario where I screwed it up really bad was what we were just talking about. Whenever Gleghorn says, "Oh, Casey, we just talked about this." But what that taught me was I had beat that guy on the tree so bad. Like he was like 70 on the tree and I was 8 on the tree. Well, I was holding 5 also. So now I'm that much further out in front of him. And I got down there and I said, "Oh crap, there's the finish line." I slam on the brakes and I go 2 thou under. And this guy just has an easy victory. And that's actually what originally got me thinking about that. When I watched Scotty in that All-Star race, I said, I really think that he's trying to be, he's not trying to be 50, but I don't think he was trying to be 00. I think he was trying to be, mid-teen, high-teen.
20. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he always said, as long as I'm green, I can win the race. And probably the next version of Scotty Richardson that you could say is probably Luke. Don't forget, Scotty won all that stuff in NHRA class racing and then dominated bracket racing. Luke's done both also. He learned from those guys. He raced around those guys. And, there's scenarios with him where if anybody, I don't know what it is. One day I'll hopefully figure it out. But if there was somebody who could figure it out, it would be him.
Right. Oh, quick question out of the chat, too. I think it was Lance Craft that asked Casey, does TSR still sell the Power Glide books? Last I heard, they did.
I have one.
Yeah. I think they do.
And I can tell you right now, if you can't rebuild the transmission, you buy one of those books and you'll learn how. It tells you how to do it. There's some things that for your average bracket car, everything's fine. 75% of the cars out there, everything's fine. Some of the things that I've done, obviously for my Top Sportsman car, that stuff didn't exist whenever Carl Monroe wrote that book back in the day. So, but I can tell you right now, that book is the best investment you will ever make because it will allow you to learn how to rebuild your own transmission. It will explain to you how it works. And to be honest with you guys, Power Glides, there's not a lot to them. There's not a lot of parts in there. It's not as hard as you think. You do need some special tools to be able to do some certain things. But, if you've done any sort of engine, I would say if you're a guy who can replace lifters in your car, if you can pull the intake off, you can replace lifters, you can put everything back together and it all still runs, you reset rocker arm geometry and stuff, you can rebuild a Power Glide transmission. You probably have all of the tools that it takes to do that. It's not as big of a deal as people think. It's not this crazy, intricate thing, but like I said, you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely some good stuff going on out here. Some good comments on the Facebook side. It is all about how you pull in the lane, Brian Cook. It has been that way for a while. As a matter of fact, I challenge anybody listening. You pull into the lanes the first round and you get your teeth kicked in, just get knocked out. I think you should do 10, 15 jumping jacks, go get a soda, or whatever you drink at the racetrack, of water, sit in your rocking chair for a second, and then go back to the lanes. Because that'll give you about a good 5-10 minutes to let a different set of cars get into the lanes. Like, going to the lanes kind of the same each time might not always work. You know what I mean, Casey? You fall into that one little crowd to where if you're 5 or 6 pair back behind that, or in front, I guess I would say, if you're not in the very beginning, you could fall into a different crowd of racers. That's just my thought process on it, man.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's why you always have guys that you always run certain guys.
Jeremy Rosenthal saying Luke said in his post that he was not great this weekend, but his car was awesome. That says
Yep.
it all right there. I mean, if your car is doing what, so like I always say, I always have to correlate to a sport, and golf is going to be this sport. One day my driver will work great, and the next day my putter will work great. Never, I repeat, it never works great in the same day, and that's why I'm just a mediocre golfer. You see what I mean? Well, this day, Luke's saying, my driving skills terrible, but my car's good.
It doesn't make a difference,
Yep.
right? It didn't make a
Whatever.
difference.
Did
All
not
that
make a
matters at the end of the day, number one is you can't win the race if you're not there. That's number one. Number
Right.
two, to be in those world finals races, he had to win both of those classes to even have the opportunity to run that. But more than anything, you know what matters most? When the wind light comes on. It doesn't make a difference how that wind light came on. It doesn't matter. It matters that it came on. It is irrelevant what the package was. It is irrelevant. Did you let go good? It is irrelevant. Did this guy go break out? Is he an idiot? Did he, sorry, Matthew, did he take 500s at the stripe? But that doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. There's rounds that everybody wins races or wins rounds, not necessarily races all the time, but everybody wins rounds that they shouldn't win.
Yeah.
Because someone else lost that round. You didn't win that round.
Yeah.
And for example, Andy Lloyd didn't win the finals at the door car race. Matthew lost it. That's how it is.
It is what it is. Right.
That being said,
Right.
I think that nobody in his position really would have done anything any different. I think it was just that's where the cards fell. I think you put anybody else in that car, and when you're getting charged on by a 40-mile-an-hour door car or dragster or whatever, 40 mile an hour is a lot. That is a lot of difference. And it could have went one way or the other. And there's also a good chance that Andy didn't think he was getting there and lifted too and ended up on the right side of it. Because if Matty would have went down there and stomped on the brakes, thinking he was going to let him around probably.
Yep.
And Andy might have hit the brakes too because he was down a couple mile an hour. So
like, I am not catching him. I'm staying behind.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
That's hard on both ends. I mean, I just think the luckiest man won that round. That's, is what it is. That's how it goes. It's racing is what it is. It's, I don't think anybody would have done anything different. It's just how it worked out.
Yeah, man. Of course, at the spring fling, the door car fling, we got to also shout out Wesley Washington. I feel like I've heard his name, I don't know how many times this year, knocking on the door or winning. But I'm pretty sure I've seen him in quite a few finals this year. Matched up against a guy named Colt Carlson. I'm not for sure of who that is. Maybe he's out there, kind of, you might be familiar with him from your area or something, Casey, but heard Carlson might have gobbled up a little stripe or got fed a little stripe to be 1 thou under in the final. So,
knowing Wesley, the brakes were smoking on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna think Wesley probably grabbed quite a bit of brake. Like, I'm not catching him and stay behind him or something like that is what I think probably happened there. But good effort out of the both of you in that final. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that blue S10 is extremely nice too. I mean, you can see in the finals or in the number 2 picture that we all get to be a part of time to time. That number 2 picture, I'm telling you right now that you could see the reflection of the spring fling check in the hood of that truck.
Got it.
And it had stock style seats in it too. So I can tell you right now, if he's sitting there for a burn down, you don't want to get in a burn down with that guy because he's fine.
He's good to go. Tex Griffith's chiming in. I feel like he might be across the water over there somewhere, Casey, but he's saying we normally cannot double enter different classes, only at local track champs. So, I'm thinking this is probably our weekend warrior style he's talking there, but I have done that, but copped a lot of grief for it, being that he doubled out warrior races and people didn't quite like it. So maybe doubling is a American type of thing, how we do it over here. I never really looked into to see if it was common in other countries. You know what I mean?
I don't think that, honestly, I think it's a Southern thing because it's not common where we came from. It's not common in the St. Louis area until extremely recently. Whenever I was growing up racing all the time, if you were going to double, that meant running 2 different classes. That meant running Super Pro quarter mile and Super Pro 8th mile, or being like Ricky Thomas and running every single class they have.
That's right. That's right. And I'm with you, man. When we grew up, unless it was super mega bucks or something, right? Kind of the bigger money races. That was the only races that I remember you could buy more than one entry in, or more than one color. That's it. Anything else, you get one run and a buyback, and if you don't win either of them, you're done. So that's just the way I remember, especially from the Midwest. But out here in the South, Texas, I guess, a little bit more doubling going on. Not always.
Yep.
I don't think some Superbucks allows doubling, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember.
Well, I mean, with the car counts we've been getting lately, I mean, it is going to be interesting. I mean, Spring Fling is actually one of the first that I've seen that said we're not doing doubles like their Bristol race. I think they only single enter that entire deal. It's going to be interesting to see what 2026 holds on all that. If that can all stay together. I know I felt like first round lasted forever at this door car race, which the most impressive part about that was not the fact that, double entries are allowed. It's the fact that dragsters aren't allowed. And you still had that many entries.
Right.
That's what was wild about that whole deal.
Right. Well, you said it yourself, Casey. If not on this show, then we've said it over the phone. You're in door car heaven. And not only fast door car heaven. There's a lot of fast door cars in your neck of the woods. So, kind of not shocked to see that type of a turnout for that door car race. Let's be honest, Pete Biondo's a smart businessman. He knows you can hold a door car event at Galat Raceway Park. Well, if it's still Galat, it may be Durana before we know it, right?
I think it is. I think it's supposed to be.
Sorry about that. Well, it's just like Gateway.
This last weekend,
I call Gateway Gateway. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's worldwide technology.
It is to me.
I can't help it. So it is what it is.
That's what it is to me, man. It's going to be interesting because a lot of people always still called it Dunn Benson still over all these years that it's been Galat. So now it's going to be interesting to see who changes what now.
Yeah, well, Tex is in here still chatting away. He says, often you also need a mulligan. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is true, and I don't care where you are. This sport is not for the faint of heart, period. I played a lot of sports in my day, and I'm still pretty for certain that drag racing is the hardest out of all of them. I don't care what other sport you match up to it. It is a hard thing to do. So those mulligans do come in handy. I know I use quite a few on the golf course sometime too. Generally only one per nine holes, but we'll leave that alone.
Well, the thing is, with drag racing in general, whatever, I don't care what it is, what class you run or whatever you end up doing. I don't care if it's no prep, outlaw stuff, bracket racing, whatever. The fact is you got one shot and it's right now. And there is no time for screwing up. You can't screw up because you got to do it right now, or you better hope the other guy screws up more. There's no getting it back. So,
you remember St. Louis International Raceway? Did you ever go there?
No, I don't think I was ever there whenever it was on the other side of the interstate.
Yep. Well, it was flipped, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, swamp.
Jeremy, I remember that. It wasn't very long, born in 84, if that tells you my age.
We were running in, I think back in those days, we always ran at Evansville a lot, and then we ran at Lyons a whole bunch. Of course, by the time Lyons was up, I guess the new Gateway was up and everything, but we ran primarily at I-57 in Evansville back then. I don't think that we really went to old St. Louis International. I know Dad did back in the Superstock days and stuff, but I know Barry Green told me a story about old St. Louis International. I guess it was short or something, and when they were running quarter mile after you went over 150, technically the rule was that if you went over 150, you had to throw the parachute. And I don't know if he got DQ'd one time because he didn't throw the parachute or something, just didn't think about it, or somebody did, and that was a big ordeal, I guess, at the time. But that's a story that those guys always like to tell.
Hey, man, everybody did a dry hop back in that day. That's all I got. I don't care what you was driving. I remember my dad got his day racecraft chassis dragster, and my uncle was still in the Monza, but it was running like 9.0s or something, and everybody would turn heads at a 9-second car that was that fast. Back then, that was taking care of business. Well, Lynn Smalley come in with that Top Gun car, and Casey, man, I don't know if you remember that one, but that car was always fast, Lynn Smalley's car. So it's just a lot of memories out there at St. Louis, man. It's Jeremy's bringing them all back to the forefront of my mind. You know, I can remember my uncle's. He got into a wreck out there. Flipped that Monza about 8 times. I remember that. Remember that day too, man. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yep. Mid-old Timmy Reed and everybody else out there around that time. So, nah, man, Casey, what else we got, man? You know, it was a lot of racing, a lot of close racing. I watched a lot of close drag races. I watched a lot of people get tricked at the finish line too. People dropping people on their head pretty smooth out there on that racetrack.
At the end of the day, man, people have forgotten this. The best package wins all the time. It doesn't matter how you get there. It doesn't matter if you hit the tree and go dead on. Doesn't matter if you hold 12 like Jeff Serra might do time to time. Doesn't matter if you spray to get there. At the end of the day, that lowest number that's not negative always wins all the time. Sometimes that negative number will win time to time too, the way people drive nowadays. But ultimately, if, everybody always says, the common saying is always give me a clean wheel and see what they can do with it or whatever, because it isn't me. Well, at the end of the day, if you let go, if I go up there and I let go, say 8 or better, 5 or better, something like that, and I'm going dead on, good luck, man. You will have to be a great driver to get in that, because first of all, if you're running somebody and they're 00 on the tree and they're going dead on, let's just say the worst case scenario, 009, dead 9. So you're still dead on and you're still 00, but the slowest, you're 18 total.
Yeah.
Your best racers are going to maybe be able to take 3 at the stripes. So that means they already got to have a package that's 15 or better to begin with to be able to be that much in front. Right. So, I mean, it's not as easy as people think, and you don't need to hold a lot what people think. Another thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Casey.
Go ahead.
So
the reason
to your point, I'll show you a clean wheel. You see all the clean wheel you want to see. Still got to get in front of it. You can see the clean wheel all day long. Go ahead, look at it. It's right there. Now get in front of it.
Shine it up.
Hey, matter of fact, if you get in front of it and don't get rid of what you got, well, take it. I ain't backing off you.
That's what Show Enough always says. If you're gonna hold it, you got to get out. That is what it is.
Yep.
And the reason I was thinking of that is because me and Daniel Morton. This is your shout out, Daniel Morton. I know. He was on me because he said, man, I runnered up bracket finals. You didn't even shout me out. This is ridiculous. So here's your shout out. Daniel Morton runnered up bracket finals at WDRA bracket finals at Galat a couple weeks ago. My bad. I forgot to mention him. I was all excited because Champ was all about what he did. Runnered up the night before too. Daniel Morton runnered it up too, the real race. And here's his shout out. But me and him were talking about that the other night while we were all over there watching Trevor and Adam mess with the graph on Travis's car. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever number's the lowest wins every single time. So everybody keep that in mind. Whatever you think you're better at, then the other guy better be better at whatever he's doing.
Yeah, Casey, you were talking about there's a lot more drag racing to do this year, and I wanted to jump through the computer screen and give you a good shaking, because I don't get to race any longer for the rest of the year. My season is over. However, old Mo will be out there at the Superbucks, man. Dad's coming in to run it, and that's going to be an interesting vantage point. I've not seen him do work at the finish line like I'm going to get a chance to see, and we'll see who got the juice. And I'm always going to hold it over his head because I'm 1-0 right now, Casey. He ain't beat me yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Ed Barres popped in last minute here, I see.
Yeah, buddy. So what you got in closing, Casey, man? We can end episode 211, talk about something else. I don't really got much else, but heck of a job. I like it that it was just so much to watch. There was a lot going on in the drag racing world this week. Bracket racing world, I should say.
A lot in the bracket racing world, a lot in the, I think NHRA was doing some double divisional stuff. I saw a ton of people.
Yep.
A ton of people seem like doubled up this weekend on the NHRA side, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I know, like they had, like I'm talking back to back. I think Butner was actually one of them that doubled up in Super Gas, won the first day and the second day. I want to say somebody won both days in comp, which that's not as surprising really, because comp is one of those classes where if you have a really good setup and you're way under the index, that's a little easier to win something like that. I mean, it's definitely not easier to get that far under your index, but once you get there, it's easier to double. to do that. That's how Rampy did it all those years. But
Isn't comp the ultimate math class, like college algebra or something?
Well,
Figure that class
it's
out.
the Bonneville Salt Flats of drag racing, really.
Mhm.
It's very interesting. If you're a guy that really likes cars and really understands what's going on, I would highly encourage you to go to a divisional and look at the comp cars and just see what's there. And the fact of the matter is that you could see something that's going like 1090, but what it is, it's impressive for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fast, but it is fast for what it is. And that's what's cool about comp. If you really understand and you really enjoy automotive technology, that's where it is, right there. Competition Eliminator.
Man, a heck of a class. I like it. There's always something new gracing that class. So, for instance, starting to see blower cars or blown injected cars, or I don't know if they're whatever the heck they are.
Well, that is
coming
interesting.
out there, and man, there's some interesting cars coming into this class.
Well, they've always had like the A Pro Mod and AA Pro Mod and stuff like that, which a lot of people don't run. I think Doug Winters went out there with a real NHRA Pro Mod one time at Charlotte when they weren't running Pro Mod and blew that deal out.
Oh.
But now that they have all these Copo cars and everything coming out, that is interesting because I don't pretend to know the rules of comp. I just think it's really cool. But I think something about it has to be like generally, I don't know, maybe it doesn't really have to be totally factory. I mean, that's the most confusing class there is. Confusing, class racing. That makes super stock and stock look like nothing. Right. But I would assume
have
now
Chris
that all these
Monahan on here one day because he calls the laps like no other. So I guarantee you he can tell us some stuff about Comp Eliminator, no question.
Be very cool to have someone on that really understands comp because that's just purely interesting. But it's going to be interesting to see those Copo motors and Cobra Jet motors and the Hemis and all that stuff, whatever they're called. It'd be cool to see if those start showing up.
Right. Don't doubt it. Don't put it past anybody. And Casey, they're probably already there if you want to be honest. But,
I'm sure. If they're allowed, they're there. I guarantee it. Because they spend as much money on some of those comp cars as Pro Stock teams.
Right.
Don't forget, Pro Stock came from Modified Eliminator, which is comp.
Right. So, hey, on behalf of GBR, episode 211, thanks for joining us. And hope you guys have good weekends, good nights, whatever you got going on. Be safe. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace out.